just get ready for an interview with Christina and Joachim and Sten. While we wait for those two, we can probably take some of the questions we got on our email. We got a question from Brian Ashton from Canada, and he is asking, just a second, how young are the Danish badminton players when they are scouted for the national teams?
Yeah, generally I'd say they're between 17 and 19. The national coaches watch selected national tournaments, and there's also age group coaches working with the under 17 players and the under 19 players, so they have a quite good knowledge of the players, and around the age where they leave the junior system, they will be evaluated, and some of them are offered to join the national team and practice on a daily basis.
A comment from Brian in this mail as well. In China, it seems like the talent starts younger than they do in Europe and the rest of the world. Is that the same opinion you have?
Yeah, I think probably actually the Danes start playing badminton at an earlier age than the Chinese players, but the Chinese players starts practicing in a professional way earlier than the Danish players, perhaps around 11 or 12 years old. So, the Danes and the Europeans start playing badminton for fun, and in China it's more organized, the way I see it, and the way it was when I last visited China and had a chance to watch some youth badminton.
Another question is coming from Daniel Lam. He's asking when Peter Gade quits his badminton career, is he going to be a coach then?
That's what he's aiming to do, so I guess he'll be a coach. In what role is not decided yet. At least I don't know what the role is, but he's expressed that he's very interested in coaching.
So we can expect him to be some kind of coach.
Definitely.
We also have another question from Naomi Magee-Darak. Is asking, and that's quite kind of a trick question maybe. What's the best comeback in a match to win you ever have seen?
Give me a minute on that one.
Okay, I remember All England final for Mathias Bo, Carsten Mogensen's 2 years ago, I think.
Now I'm quite sure the best comeback. The best comeback I've seen was in Thomas Cup 1996. It was the first men's singles between Paul Hayakawa Larsen and Dong Zhang of China in the semi-final of the Thomas Cup, and Dong Zhang was one set ahead, winning the first game 15-6, the old scoring system, and ahead 13-1 in the second game. And Paul Hayakawa came back to win 18-17, 15-11 or something like that. And that was the most amazing comeback I've seen, I think.
Impressing. And we are getting ready on court number 2. We have a match between Japan and China. On the left side in the black and white jerseys, it's Kenichi Hayakawa and Misaki Matsutomo. They're up against Zhao Yunlei, Zhang from China in all yellow. And no doubt about who's the favorite here, Sten.
Yeah, we have to give that
to the Japanese,
credit,
right?
to the Olympic and World Champions.
They're good.
Yeah, they've been playing well. They have. They didn't win the Denmark Superseries last year.
No.
I think they lost to Joachim Fischer and Christina Pedersen.
They did.
But after they beat the Danes in Hong Kong, they were quite dominant for the next 8 months.
8 months, yeah.
And crowned it with winning the old Chinese Olympic final.
Yeah, and in the Olympic tournament, we also saw that they're they are a couple who just continuing pushing. No easy days, just playing their own style of playing.
Yeah, they were of course nervous. It was the first Olympic experience, and they weren't playing at the top of their game in all the matches, and nobody is at the Olympics, but still they managed to play well enough to win quite easily.
And Sten, if we look on their resumes, nothing, they haven't won yet, almost, except for here. But Sten, before you answer that question, we will get to our reporter on the sideline, Marie-Louise Albers. She's ready with some of the players who has been in action this evening. Marie-Louise, who are you talking to?
Hi and welcome. We're now doing an interview with Joachim Fischer and Christina Pedersen from Denmark, who's defending champions in the mixed doubles here at Denmark Open. And Christina and Joachim, you just won your first match here this evening. How did you feel out there on the court?
Yeah, of course, we feel great to be back here. We haven't played since the Olympics, and it's also nice to be back in Denmark to play a tournament. And as a defending champions, we're of course trying our best for making good results here.
And Christina, you've been out for a couple of weeks, and now you're back at this tournament in Denmark as well. How is it to be back?
It's really nice. I hope to be back here in Denmark Open. So I'm pretty happy to have the chance to play here and together with Joachim.
Is she fit, Joachim?
Yeah, of course she is fit. She's always fit, and we both need to be fit if we have to have a chance in this tournament. And we have tried to practice as much as possible the last couple of weeks after Christina got back from her surgery, and we feel okay. And we take one match at a time, as we normally say, and let's see how far it can go.
But what can we expect of you in this tournament?
You can expect a big fight for sure. We'll promise that. Next match is going to be very difficult for us. It's going to be a Chinese or Indonesia pair. So we know that we need to play close to our very best if we want to beat them, and we'll try to do that.
And you, Joachim?
Yeah, a little bit the same as Christina. We know that it's going to be very tough. All the best couples are here, and we know we are not as prepared or in the same shape as when we were playing the Olympics, but we will try our best, and let's see how far we can go.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you to you, Marie-Louise Albers. And Sten, what are your comments for those things we just heard?
Yeah, I think it sounds reasonable what Joachim and Christina said. They have to take one match at a time. That's the only sensible thing to do. And actually, it always is. So nothing should really change. They said in interviews before the tournament that they try to play a little bit better every day, and I think that's exactly what it's all about. Improving a little bit day by day, and not necessarily worrying too much about the results in this tournament, but more about getting the game back together.
But also, Christina said, and you can also expect a big fight, and that's the other things. One of the other things that badminton is about, isn't it?
And especially for this pair, who is really strong in the head, mentally very strong. And sometimes intimidating to the opponents. Very dangerous pair with the steep smashes from Joachim and precise services from Christina. So it'll be interesting, and as they say, they have a close match tomorrow.
Yeah.
So let's wish them all the best.
And also a good start from the Olympic champions, Zhao Yunlei and Zhang. Zhang, who also have played 2 matches this day, but compared to Joachim Fischer, it hasn't been a very hard day for Zhang.
Now he's played the men's doubles together with his new old partner, Bao Chai. Had to go through qualifying to get into the main draw, but taking it quite easy here in the beginning of the match.
And 10-4 lead, 6 points for the Chinese. And Sten, another question here in the interval of this mixed doubles. A very good question, in my opinion, from J.D. Motti, who's asking, how would you guys rate, who would you guys rate as the top 3 men's doubles players? Not pairs, but players today. Good question.
Yeah, I've thought about it from time to time, and at the moment, I think the rating is, in my head, quite clear. I'd rate Lee Yunlei as the best player, because he can play with different partners and play well, and take a big responsibility in these pairings. And the second player, who's very close to Lee Yunlei as well, it would be Kai Yun from China. He's been playing extremely well and at a high level for many years. Won all the titles that you can. And then I would actually rate Carsten Mogensen from Denmark as number 3 at the moment. I think he's developed really well. Together with Mathias Bo, but Carsten is hard to put pressure on, and he can play at the net. He can play at the front court as well. He has extremely good defense. He's serving well. So in my opinion, these 3 players are the world's best at the moment.
Yeah, and now we're watching the mixed doubles, so we could use the same question just for mixed doubles players.
Both for men and women?
Yeah, you feel free.
The best male mixed doubles players is Lee Yunlei again.
Again, yeah.
And the second best is Zhang that we're watching right now.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because he's playing real mixed doubles. China has for a number of years had the game plan for the mix that they take the world's best female mixed player and then put a smashing machine behind her. And that's a little blunt, and it's not entirely correct because they can do more than smashing. But they weren't playing these traditional mixed shots, and Zhang is doing that. And he's not a hard hitter, but I mean he can smash and he's dangerous, but he's got an extremely good eye for the game.
So he's more like a thinking player than a hard-hitting player.
He's much more a thinking player. And number 3, it's probably Joachim Fischer.
Yeah. And he's a hard-hitting player, isn't he?
He's a very hard-hitting player.
But also a thinking player.
But there's a number of players that could compete for that spot.
Who's the outsiders?
The outsider is Tontowi Ahmad from Indonesia. He got very nervous at the Olympics, and I think the Danes capitalized on that, and the Chinese as well, because they were really putting pressure on this. I'm sorry, on Chen Shu and Ma Jin in the semi-final. So he's a strong player as well.
And in my opinion, Sten, we're looking at maybe the best women also right now.
Yeah, and Ma Jin
is also a fantastic player.
In my opinion, is a good player, and Liliana Natsir as well is a very strong all-round mixed doubles player. So I would probably say Majin.
9-19.
And of course, Zhao Yunlei, as we see here, is a strong competitor as well. As she's won all titles and double Olympic champion in women's doubles and mixed doubles. But
Service over. 20 game point.
She's an amazing player, Zhao Yunlei, when we look at her resume.
She is.
And still continuing playing, and seems like she's having fun.
Yeah, but she's still young, so she could play on for many years. Easy first game here for the Chinese pair.
Yeah, 21-9 only. And they continue the style of playing that Fischer and Pedersen, just getting on the court, getting the job done, and then onto a quick shower, and then back to the hotel.
Yeah, I think they want to get as much rest as possible, especially since Zhang has started playing men's doubles as well. He didn't play men's double in the qualification up to the Olympics, and left his partner Bao Chai with Gu Zhendong, who qualified for the Olympics but were actually not in anywhere near a medal.
No.
And now they've gotten back together, and I think they might be a force that you should watch out for in this tournament. Also, they arrived here in Denmark, I think Saturday or Sunday, so probably they still have a bit of jet lag and want to get it over as fast as possible.
We talked about new constellations during the men's doubles qualification. Zhao Yunlei, 26-year-old. Zhang Nang, a bit younger than her, 22. Is there a future for them in 2016 for the Olympics in Brazil, do you think?
I think it depends very much on what level the young Chinese players, especially in the women's doubles department, what kind of level they will achieve. There's a lot of competition in China. Perhaps sometimes you could feel that the competition in China is actually harder than in the rest of the world. So it's about keeping your younger competitors behind you, and also staying fit. It's very important. Don't get any major injuries, because then you're in trouble. We've seen that in the ladies singles, where Wang Lin won the world championship in 2010, suffered a major injury, a knee injury, and really hasn't been able to come back and
2-1.
and compete with the very strong ladies singles players from China.
Yeah, and we also see a player like Li Xiuru, who's coming from behind. Wang Xishan, Wang Jihan, and Wang Xing. The three times Wang was expected to take the tickets for the Olympics, but she came from behind and took the title in London.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, for me it wasn't a surprise. I was quite sure 6 months before that Li Xiuru would go to the Olympics. She's taking a little bit longer time to develop as a strong player, but has been really dominating since she emerged on the world scene.
And just for info, on court number 1, Robert Blair and Vita Marisa against Robert Matusiak and Nadia Stasiba. 19-all now the match point for Blair and Marisa. And half of the English national team is standing right next to us watching this game. And also a bit of surprise if Marisa and Blair could take the victory, or what do you think, Steen?
Yeah, it's a surprise. Vita Marisa playing as an independent player right now, and Blair going back to Scotland. So probably they don't practice that much together. Well played here by Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei, and they just continue. They've met once before, these two pairs, and it actually went to 3 games in Singapore Open.
And it's difficult to see how they should make this into 3.
yeah, there's a lot of drift. Sorry, a lot of.
8-2.
Yeah. And the hall in Singapore is one of the most windy halls in the circuit, and when you're playing on one side, it's very, very difficult. So that might be one of the explanations.
And there's not that much wind in this venue.
Over 3-9.
3-9 for the Chinese.
Service over 10-3.
Don't hesitate if you have a question for me or Sten or both of us. Ask a question at Denmark Open at badminton.dk. The best question of the day will be honored with a signed poster. All the stars of this tournament have signed the poster, among others Zhao, Yunlei, one of the names. So feel free if you have something in your mind.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. (11-3). Play.
For information, we can just mention that Robert Matuszak and Nadezhda Seba went on to win the match against Robert Blair and Mita Marisa. The scratch pair out of the tournament.
Yeah. Seems right. 25-23.
Wow. The Japanese are totally out of this match here. 10 points behind now, 14-4.
Not a good day at the office for the Jew and black.
Service over. 5-14. Over 15-5 change.
10-point lead, Sten, and it's a bit like a walk in the park for those two, and we have not seen Fischer-Petersen struggle. We have not seen the Chinese struggle, and that's another good reason for playing this at Tuesday, isn't it? Just getting the job done for some of the players, preparing for tougher games on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I think there is some tougher matches. We've seen this match with the Polish pair against the scratch pair from Scotland and Indonesia.
17,
went all the way 23-25 in the decider. So I just think it's good that we play one category on Tuesday, because there were too many matches on Wednesday, and we would finish up late in the evening, and every spectator would have left the hall. So it's much better to play these 16 matches and then have a nice schedule for
19,
the other categories tomorrow. No mixed doubles tomorrow.
No.
Second round played on Thursday as usual.
That's normal, yeah.
So
serves over.
this is the better solution.
And Steen, to be honest, there's more audience in the venue tonight than we have seen before on a Tuesday. That's also because we have some better matches, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that it's more interesting to be in the hall when the main draw is on its way. That should be more appealing than watching the qualifying.
Great stop from Matsutomo.
7, 19.
The problem, of course, is that the players that has to go through qualification in the mixed doubles, they will end up playing
At least.
they will play 3 matches in one day, and if they are playing qualification in men's doubles as well, they will play, or ladies doubles, they will play another 2 matches. But the way I see it, we should schedule the tournament for the main draw and for the benefit of the players in the main draw, and then it might be tough to go through qualification, but then they have to play
Match point.
smaller tournaments, lower level tournaments, to earn enough points so they can get into the main draw.
And match point 29 for Zhao, Yunlei and Zhang from China. And the Japanese
10,
gets at least
20.
1 point more in the second game than in the first. And that's it. 21-9, 21-10. And that's all for the Japanese, of course. The Chinese are ready for another match tomorrow, which is, of course, on Tuesday. And stay with us. We'll be back in a few moments with another mixed doubles, Denmark against Korea.